Hello every single one of you, welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to have a look at the Bitcoin price action, at the Bitcoin dominance, which will tell us whether money will flow into altcoins or whether it will go back to Bitcoin right here. And we are going to talk about XRP. We're going to analyze it in the shorter term time frame, and we are going to analyze it in the longer term time frame. And I want to speak some words about the XRP ETF that most likely is coming in the not so distant future. So guys, let's jump straight into it, and let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, like I said in my previous video, Bitcoin is reaching the later half of the 60-day cycle. So the next 60-day cycle low will be roughly at early January. And normally, generally speaking, the second half of the 60-day cycle is slightly less bullish than the first half of the 60-day cycle. So you can see with these green arrows right here, these are all starts of the 60-day cycle. So here we can see when it starts, it goes pretty aggressively up here too, and there too. But the last half of the 60-day cycle, sometimes we do get still some pushes. Like for example, right here we have a very beautiful push, correction, push higher, 60-day cycle low, and then we really take off. That is definitely a more bullish one. But generally speaking, as you can see in the previous times, the later we are in the 60-day cycle, the more momentum is coming a little bit down, and the more chances we actually have of it can be small, correction. Right, so that's just something I wanted to say. If you are playing with high leverage on these levels, be a little bit careful, because maybe the chances of getting a correction later in the cycle is increasing. Then when we zoom out a little bit on Bitcoin, I want to show you a couple of things. Like the Bitcoin spot ETF got filed right here. As you can see, we got a massive rally. We completely retraced that rally, but as you can see, the Bitcoin price continued to go higher after that correction. So there are a lot of things that are happening at this specific moment. So we are at a different part of the cycle, and the price structure here is completely different than it is here, for example. So there are multiple factors coming into play right here. However, the narrative of Bitcoin spot ETF being filed definitely helps with the buzz around Bitcoin, right? And the thing is, the moment the spot ETF got approved, a lot of people were actually thinking that that's going to be a sell the news event. For the ones that are not familiar with that, sell the news event is often the rumors of a particular news is making investors anticipate that specific move, making them to invest, which drive the price up. Normally, sometimes when the news is being confirmed, so for example, the Bitcoin spot ETF filed is the rumor that the spot ETF is coming. The ETF approved is the news confirmation that it's approved. This was not a sell the news event, because the moment the Bitcoin spot ETF got approved, a lot of institutional money, liquidity, basically was flowing into Bitcoin, which, as you can see, the moment it got approved, it shot up from 40,000 till 70,000. Well, the amount of billions of US dollars that is needed for a asset like Bitcoin to get such a substantial increase is a lot. It's a lot of billions US dollars. And that's also what I'm saying about XRP is the XRP ETF is filed. I do think that it's just a matter of time before this one is getting approved. It might not get approved before the 20th of January, because Gary Gensler is still the SEC chairman. However, probably afterwards it will get approved, and this will become a narrative, and it will definitely help driving the price of XRP up. Similar as it did with Bitcoin, because I think now a lot of institutional money can go legally into something like XRP, and I think a lot of institutions are basically waiting for that, have been waiting for that, because XRP is a token for the institutions, right? They are looking for the regulations for all these partnerships. So And I think XRP is going to play a very big role during this bull market. I will touch that subject again in today's video as well. But there will also be a big role, right? We have a Bitcoin ETF, we have an Ethereum ETF, and the next one is an XRP ETF. And the XRP ETF got filed when XRP was still below US dollar Tether and Solana, right? So that's also very interesting to see. And now we go to the Bitcoin dominance, guys. And the Bitcoin dominance on the weekly time frame is just looking very bearish, if you ask me. We have seen a very big increase since 2022. The Bitcoin dominance has been going up. Liquidity has been continuing to concentrate into Bitcoin. But right now we are seeing kind of like a topping formation. We are seeing a top. We're seeing a strong sell-off right here. And if we look at the momentum indicator, we have been overbought quite a while. So there's a lot of space here to come down. As you can see, we have been in this two red area, in this between these two red lines. We have been there pretty long, and it's coming down right now, and there's a lot of space to come down. And this is a weekly time frame, so that is something you have to take into consideration. So for this to come down, really come down, and altcoins really thrive, as you can see at my cursor, we could reach these lows, or maybe we could be significant lower at the end of 2025 than where we are right now. So that doesn't mean that right now we are going to see directly all the altcoins pop off. No, but that generally means that the Bitcoin dominance has been going up, and then probably until late 2025 this will go with ups and downs. This will definitely go with ups and downs, but I think this can definitely has a higher likelihood to come down in the next 12 months than to stay up. That's what I personally believe. Also, when we have a look at the, I can get rid of this Fibonacci retracement tool right here. That's for the shorter term time frame. When we have a look at the structure right here, this line can also move actually, is that we had a rising wedge formation. And then we broke that rising wedge formation. We had the red line, the red zone right here was the resistance. We tapped into that resistance, and now we dropped. And we dropped below the support of that rising wedge formation. And the target of a rising wedge is the bottom of the wedge, which is significantly, guys, exactly aligning with the golden ratio, the golden pocket. This is based on the Fibonacci sequence. This is a ratio that we are seeing very often in nature, and it tells already again that right now we are stalling at the first Fibonacci level at 23.60%. But the target of this formation is the golden ratio, which is again, and look, that completely coincides with previous resistance, right? Which then can maybe turn into support. So we have no guarantee that this would come all the way down, but I think the chances that this going to the golden pocket, for me as a technical analyst looking at this chart over the course for the next 12 months, this is really, really high. And therefore I think a lot of money will flow into altcoins, and one of the altcoins will of course be XRP. And XRP is looking pretty interesting right now because we are looking at the 1 hour time frame, but we can dive into the shorter term time frame, and then we just go to the higher time frames. Okay, so this is the 1 hour time frame. We had a declining resistance since the 2nd of December, as you can see right here. We broke that declining resistance the 6th of December. So yeah, we can see that the price also broke, so we had a nice break of the momentum. Already the price was doing a triple bottom, like bottom, 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 but the momentum indicator is doing a low, higher low, higher low, which is called a bullish divergence. And somewhat we also form a inverse head and shoulders, where we have like a left shoulder right here, head in the middle, maybe a small right shoulder right here, and it looks like this thing wants to break out and continue to the upside. The 1 hour time frame is of course less reliable. I would love to have a look at the 4 hour time frame because that one seems to be more interesting to me. If we go to the 4 hour time frame, then you can see, and this is actually pretty nice, is We had this huge rally in XRP from 50 cents going all the way up to $2.90. So we have been coming down. We have been having a correction right here. So it looks like a pretty straightforward ABC correction in terms of Elliott wave theory. But what we can see is that the low that we made here in the momentum indicator. So actually, let me show you how it looks. So here we made a low, and that low was also visible in the momentum indicator right here. Then we made a higher low in the price, right? So we make a higher low right here. But in the momentum indicator, we did the opposite. We did a lower low. This is called a hidden bullish divergence. Why is this bullish? Because the price actually goes up, but the momentum indicator goes lower, creating more space for, you guessed it right, bullish momentum, for upwards momentum. And we are seeing something similar right now, is that the momentum indicator is actually lower than the previous low. But if you look at the price, guys, this is a low and this is a higher low. So like technically on the 4-hour time frame, this is looking very, very bullish if you ask me. I do want to give some warnings as well, because we have already seen a massive rally in XRP, and that doesn't mean like it actually just increases the likelihood that we continue this rally. However, sometimes you got to be a little bit careful, because when we made so much gains, some people might going to take some profits. Yeah, so there is a possibility, and XRP is not a weird asset for that. It's quite familiar with it, that sometimes we do get these liquidation wicks to the downside. And I can show you something. For example, right here, where we just like massive spike, as you can see, massive spike, bam, sell off. I do have to say that the structure right now is definitely different. This is definitely, it's really aggressive move to the upside. But what I find also, what people maybe a little bit underestimate, because a lot of people I see online talk about XRP correcting, and I understand that, because generally every cryptocurrency that goes up in such a quick pace has a higher chance of correcting to the downside as well. For what comes up must come down. For the higher the volatility to the upside, the higher the volatility to the downside. And we are at some resistance levels. So we are at the previous all-time high, as you can see, right? So we are definitely, if you would talk about this rationally, it's definitely, you can make a lot of arguments for why this should see a correction. However, and that is the other side of it, something that I've been mentioning already for a while, XRP has a structure that we have not really seen with other cryptocurrencies. It is an old cryptocurrency. XRP is already around the block for quite a while, and the previous bull market, it did not make a new all-time high. No, instead it was just making this triangle formation. This is a 7-year long triangle formation. So basically in 7 years, that is really a lot, guys. In 7 years, XRP hasn't been making a new all-time high. Imagine if Bitcoin wouldn't make a new all-time high in 7 years, but then suddenly breaks a resistance level that has been created 7 years ago. Then I think you will definitely be more bullish. I think the reason why you're maybe less bullish on XRP is because it is an altcoin. Altcoins are known to have very much very much volatility, and definitely carry some dangers with it. And especially when you see these higher green candles, the higher the price goes, the higher the risk. That's just basic laws of nature, I would say so. But don't underestimate as well that in the past we have seen crazy moves with XRP. So this is also one of them, where we just see like crazy increase, correction, crazy increase, a little bit consolidation, crazy increase. This was like 3 times crazy increase. Also a period of 2013 till 2017. So that is a 4-year, imagine that is a 4-year consolidation in this triangle formation that breaks out, and that has a crazy move like this. Right now we have a 7-year consolidation that breaks out and has a move like this. So the risk does increase, yes. So many online people who talking about this are right, but you have to be careful as well that you're not becoming too bearish, because such a breakout from a 7-year long consolidation is really significant. XRP can go in the structure still till the middle of the channel before we start to see a correction. That would be a price of $3.60. That's my target right here. Brandon has told us that during his visions about XRP, he saw it shoot up very quickly to $5. I find that also very realistic when I look at this chart. And it's not weird that we are in a couple of weeks that we are at $5. I actually would say that it's pretty likely even to see something like that. But of course, the risk to reward ratio right here is definitely more in favor, or right here when we break out is more in favor than right here, because we could drop to 5, get a shakeout, maybe go higher. So be careful if you are using leverage with XRP. Things could get shaky. But yeah, that's just my opinion about this. I want to bring your attention to the XRP against Bitcoin chart, because this was actually this is actually a very interesting chart, if you ask me, on multiple reasons basically. First of all, I find the 4-hour time frame very interesting again. So we have the 4-hour time frame. We have again these things, right? We have a low right here, and let me get my drawing pen. We have a low right here. A low right here. We got a higher low in the price. We have, like, on the momentum indicator, is like a double bottom. But the way why it is called a hidden bullish divergence is because we have a low and the price moves different. That's called a divergence. That there's a different behavior. There's a different behavior in the momentum indicator than in the price. And that is what makes this basically bullish, right? So the behavior of the price is low and a very higher low. And the momentum indicator is just resetting completely to that previous low. So the momentum, right, the potential momentum to the upside right here is the same as right here, but we are trading higher. And you can see also directly, bam, the price goes up. And then we have now again something like this. So we have a low, and the previous low is at roughly the same level. So imagine the space we have to the upside to go higher. So I think we definitely could run into some resistance soon, but it looks like kind of like this wants to continue. This wants to continue to go higher. But I have to be honest also, if we go to the daily time frame, and that's why this chart is so interesting, if you ask me. If we zoom out and we have this red box is the resistance, then you can see we are tapping into some resistance right here. So that is something to take note of, right? We are tapping into some resistance. We almost touched the middle of the channel, and the previous times was since we broke below this resistance. Every time we touch this resistance, here we shoot over it. So that's something we can do too, that we just shoot over it, overextend. But then, like, look at this, it just comes down directly. This is against the Bitcoin, of course. Here we got rejected, here we got rejected. Sometimes we shoot over it, sometimes we get rejected at the exact level. So maybe we do something like this where we just get another shoot and then maybe get rejected. Or we can actually break it because of that crazy breakout from 7 years consolidation, that we just continue to go continue to go higher. These are basically my thoughts, guys, and I think things are looking very bullish for XRP, and I think the chances are more likely to go to 360 and $5 than to completely fully retrace this move. I don't really see that as a very likely scenario. However, you don't, like, the higher the price goes, the less risk you want to take, basically. That is just basic risk management principles, if you ask me. And in terms of narrative, I do think this is very bullish, because we have seen with Bitcoin that once the spot ETF got approved, the gates were open for new liquidity, and therefore we have seen a lot of money going into Bitcoin, making the price go higher. Another thing that I quickly want to mention right here, guys, is that the cycle of Bitcoin that we are seeing right now, maybe I'm just going to change the chart right here. We are going to have a look at the BLX chart right there, here. So, looks like a very complicated chart. It's not. Let me just get rid of the drawings first. The price action of Bitcoin in 2017, 16 and 17, as you can see right here, it didn't have many corrections. It had corrections and shakeouts, but not so structurally like we've seen in 2019. So what I personally feel, is that the price action that we are seeing right now with Bitcoin and crypto in general looks more similar to 2017, 16, 17 and 18 rather than the previous bull market of 19, 20 and 21. What does that mean? Well, it basically means that the price increase of Bitcoin is looking more bullish, and for crypto in general, but also of course for Bitcoin and for altcoins, looking more bullish right now than the previous cycle. But maybe more in specific, altcoins are looking even more bullish, because in the previous bull market we have seen alt seasons, but I personally have to say that the main focus of this whole bull market generally was Bitcoin. There were some DeFi tokens. The narrative here was DeFi. The narrative right here were ICOs, initial coin offerings, and the narrative here was digital money or digital gold. So every bull market has its narrative. I think the narrative of this bull market will be more stable coins, ISO 222. So these tokens that I've been mentioning already a lot here on the channel, I think will be fitting in the narrative. And I think a lot of altcoins will definitely in 2025, a lot of altcoins in my opinion are going to outperform Bitcoin, with the Bitcoin dominance going lower. However, do take in mind that this goes in stairs, right? So it's not like the Bitcoin dominance just plummets and all the altcoins go up instantly. No, we have periods where the Bitcoin dominance plummet, then it will increase again, so money will go to Bitcoin again. I actually thought when Bitcoin was breaking $100,000, I actually thought that the Bitcoin dominance would a little bit increase more. It did a little bit though. It did a little bit, but I would think it would increase a little bit more. So that's maybe something we can quickly touch right here, because maybe that is happening right now, that we have a low in the Bitcoin dominance and then we get a higher low right here, while in the price we do something like a lower low. So this creates a divergence in the dominance, because what I think, and you always have to think about the future narrative, right? If Bitcoin breaks $100,000, goes into price discovery, then the news will talk about Bitcoin, the attention will be on Bitcoin, many people will sell their altcoins to go into Bitcoin, which means the liquidity then is focused again on Bitcoin, right? Which makes the price of Bitcoin go up, the attention goes to Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin dominance goes up as well. But it will just be, that's what I think, it will just be a bounce, if this possible, until we break this low again and go lower. And that is of course the moment that you want to be positioned in altcoins. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, smash up the like button, that's very much appreciated. If you are not part of the community on our Discord, make sure to join, guys. We have been doing so much things right here. I've been sharing some technical analysis on Ripple when it was breaking out. We might have a YouTube collaboration with someone else, with another YouTube channel. If you want me to ask specific questions, you can share them as well over on this Discord. And yeah, it's just very nice. People are talking about moving to different locations. People sharing content ideas with me, which I can use in the video, like different dreams, different information. So if you have anything you'd like to share, you have your own story, just join our Discord and share it over here. That's very much appreciated. Okay, guys, I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.